Hi everyone, I'm Cari Fennell, and today I'm live with Prima. We are going to be making a fun, gorgeous layout using the Stationer's Desk collection. And there's all kinds of fun goodies on here like bling and metal and chipboard pieces. We're going to be doing stamping on the background. We're going to color some little canvas pieces. So there's all kinds of fun stuff that I use to build this layout with. This is a photo of my brother and his fiance. That's Dawn and Matt, and they're going to be getting married in August. So these were their engagement photos. And the whole family's totally excited. She's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful person. And so I made a layout with their photo, but I'll remake the layout without a photo today, so it's no big deal. It's easy. You'll see that you can just slide any photo into the layout. I'm going to pan down and show you what we're going to be using. Okay, so bear with me just for a second. There we go. I might need to use a little WD-40 for my my tripod here. It's a little squeaky. Okay, so let me fix my light. So I'm just going to kind of quickly go over what I'm going to be using. The Stationer's Desk collection is some of my favorite papers that we came out with at Winter CHA. And they're so vintage, and I love the deep red. I feel like it's very romantic, and I just love some of the vintage images and old style roses also incorporated in the papers. This one is called Red Romance. So as you can see, it's red on one side, and the other side has just sort of kind of faded flower pattern on it with some leaves. Then we also have this one called Capture Drama. And I don't know if you can see, but these are like little pencils all kind of fit into lines, making a grid on the background of the paper, which I love pencils. I think they're so fun. And then you have, again, some of the red roses with a little bit of script in the background. And then the background is just, it looks like they just took old book paper and just placed it, like decoupaged it around with some lighter shaded areas amongst it too. If you haven't gotten your hands on this collection, I really feel like you guys should. It lends itself to so many different themes and things you want to scrapbook about. Modern photos, vintage photos, even masculine. I think this is a very masculine line. This one here is called Red Ink. It has a beautiful gray muddled background with some white script showing through and some of the black, and this just is a nice, this is going to be our background for the layout. And the other side is black with, again, some of those vintage images and the script and writing and things like that. This collection was made by IOD, and they are some of my favorite people in the world, Sally and Josie. So I was really excited to see them come out with some really amazing lines. And this one I think was just as popular as Cartographer when we released it. Those two lines really did well. So if you can get your hands on it, I recommend it. I'm also going to be using some vintage trinkets from Finnabair, the lovely Anna Dabrowska, 960322. Just some flat metal flowers that obviously can be layered. There's holes in the center so you can use brads, connect them with whatever you like, even on jewelry I've seen, and they're just stunning. So we're going to be using those. Also today, this clear stamp. This is a doily stamp. This is probably one of my most used stamps in my stash. Again, by Finnabair. It's 961015. And I'd say that this stamp is pretty good size, like 2.5 inches or so. I am using a block with it today, so you probably want to use like a 3-inch acrylic block to stamp with it. Just keep that in mind when you get it. It's a little bit larger. Also, some Valentina flowers. These are actually really stunning. They have some script on the petals, as well as dark gray and black petals too. And I know they look really flat in a package. So I'm just going to recommend that you just kind of pull them up and just make them dimensional, just like that. And just get them nice and fluffy. Alright, so these are two that I'm going to be using. Also, Sherwood Roses. Sherwood Roses are from, well, they were released, gosh, a couple years ago, but they're still around, and they're these small little gorgeous roses. You get 9 in a pack, and you get 2 shades of gray, and then you get the black roses. So we're going to use those. The number on these is 522701. You can find the whole product list for this class on Facebook or on Ustream under events. I listed all of them there. And also last Thursday's Prima blog post, I listed all of the products as well that I used today. Let's see, these are eminence flowers. These are creamy. There's, again, some petals that look kind of flat in the pack, maybe not as inviting as some of the other colored flowers and printed flowers we come out with. But you can see that these are really sturdy, and I can fluff them up and really manipulate them, and they'll pop right up for you. The number is 546199. And in this collection, there were several different styles in this cream kind of tan color that can be sprayed or inked or just left as is. I also have some Seyden pearls. Seyden crystals, Seyden pearls, you know, same thing. There's a nice mixture of some gems with pearls on here. And I like to take these kind and cut them up. So I feel like I get a lot more rather than just peeling it off as one whole piece. And you also get these little sweet little flowers that are kind of connected. And I cut those off and use those for centers. So you don't really have to keep it all one piece, which I really love. Oh, and the number on this is 544645. You can find a variety of colors and designs in that as well. These are called Splendor leaves. These are red with some glitter and some really pretty little, I don't know what you call it, confetti or something on. But I'll just take the glare off of there so you can see how sparkly. You get 24 leaves in one pack, which I think is really awesome. And I thought that these red leaves would look so stunning with some of the red elements I'll be using on the layout. So I've got those. And then I also have some resist canvas pieces. This is from our Alla Prima collection. I'll take these out as well because I think they are resist because there is some pattern to these, and you just color them and pop them right up. And these, again, I used as foliage. So we'll spray these with some lime wedge color bloom spray and do a little chalk edging with some olive vine chalk edger ink. And it also comes with this really cool square, which just kind of comes apart. These are not, there's no adhesive on the back of these, by the way. We did that. We didn't do that for these. But these little scallop pieces come apart, and I'm going to be using one of these strips on the layout as well. And then last but not least, of course, we have our Stationer's Desk chipboard. And there is adhesive on the back of these. I used a variety of things, like the word lovely down here for the title. There's a clipboard, there's pencils, rulers, butterflies, all kinds of stuff. Like this is really, like I said, a really fun collection, and it can be used for so many different things. So the chipboard elements are going to be added within our flower clusters and behind the papers just to add a little bit more dimension. All right, so with that said, I'm just going to start setting some stuff aside here just so I can start playing around a little bit. Oh, there's the puppy. Did you hear her? She's snoring under my desk. She's, I don't know why she's so tired. We didn't really do much today. So here are the resist canvas leaves. And you get 4 of these little groups in the pack. So you have quite a bit to play with, I think, if you're going to use them for what I'm using them for. And I'm going to take some lime wedge colored bloom spray. And this is our really pretty green toned spray from the Sultry Shimmer color group. And you know, we came out with 22 colors. So this is kind of a bright, fun, really pretty one. I'm going to get that ball bearing in this bottle going. And I'm just going to go ahead and spray these up a little bit here. Awesome. And it's so cool because I can see the shimmer immediately. I know the camera may not pick it up, but you can kind of see the shimmer a little bit. And I'm going to give these a quick zap dry because I want to also color it with the chalk edger as well. It dries really, really fast, so no worries. And with the resist, you do see some of the light white pattern come through after you've added color to it. So it's just really pretty. I know I've used this on the shows before, but I just wanted to use it again. And then I have some Olivine fluid chalk, the Prima chalk edger by invoke. And I can just go in there and just kind of add another layer of green and smooth it in with my fingers, but it's just adding just a little bit more color, a little bit of a darker tone, just like that. Oh, I wanted to also mention to you guys, and maybe you can let your friends know, that the Prima design team call is going on right now, and tomorrow is the last day to submit. Yes, very important. So if you are thinking of going for it, get your application in by tomorrow. You have until midnight Pacific Standard Time. There, see, that just darkened it up a little bit, just added another layer of color, really pretty. Okay, so do that, and you can find out all the details for the design team call on the Prima blog or on Facebook. So simply go to the Prima blog, prima.typepad.com, and search design team call. I know I was on the design team for a long time before they kicked me off, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was just so fun and amazing to be a part of a team like that, and talent, and all are welcome to apply. We need card makers, we need altered project makers, layout, jewelry, everything. So, and you know, you don't really need to, if you don't have time to make anything, that's okay. You can just submit any of the work you've done. It doesn't matter if it's Prima or not. Of course, we like to see what you do with Prima, but it's not necessary, which is what I really love about Prima. And we have an in-house staff that goes through and, you know, looks at all the applications, and they do all the considerations and stuff. It's really cool. You know, they put a lot of thought into it. So make sure you guys do that, because it's just worth a try. You never know. So here I just put a little bit of black gesso onto this scalloped border, which came in the same pack as this. And this is just going to add a little punch of black to my background, just to bring out some of the black tones in the paper. And I think black just looks awesome. It really dresses up a project, makes it look really elegant. And I could have sprayed this with a color bloom spray, but I decided that I really wanted a deep, deep, dark black, and the black gesso works good. The kind that I use is golden. I love golden gesso. It's really pretty and creamy and works perfectly on any of the projects. So there I've done a little bit of the preparation work, and that's already dry. That was so easy because it's just a little piece of canvas, so it dries really quickly. And I'm going to next start kind of building up my background a little bit here. So I'm going to get rid of this and get out my trimmer. And just get rid of that little piece on the bottom. Again, this piece is called red ink. And this is going to be my background. Okay. And this is how I get started. Now I'm going to take that doily stamp that I showed you guys earlier. I know mine's a mess. It's just how I roll. And I'm going to grab some just white gesso, again, golden. And I'm just going to put a thin layer right, oh, if I can get this open. Ah, there we go. Muscles. You need muscles for crafting sometimes. Yes, good luck to everyone that applied. I really do wish everyone luck. They're just mentioning it on the chat, and, you know, I say, why not try it? Go for it, you know? It's so fun. And you just never know. You know, you don't know what they're looking for at the time. They know what they're coming out with for products and product designs, and, you know, they look for all kinds of styles and talent. So why not, you know? Just give yourself a chance. Okay, so I'm just applying a very, very thin layer of gesso. Now when I'm done with, oh, hold on a second, my screen went black, sorry. When I'm done with this, I'll just go and wash it up just to get the gesso off. If the gesso were to dry on your stamp, it's not going to be in the world. You'll still get the image, but, you know, if you're concerned about that, then, you know, maybe you should just wash it right away and save yourself the angst. Okay, so I'm going to stamp in 4 different areas. And I'm just going to make sure I press down. Now, I didn't use a lot of gesso, like I said, because if you use too much, it's going to slide around, and then you're going to be mad, because it's probably going to be smooged. It'll get smoogy. So, again, just dabbing it on. And I'm stamping off of the paper. Sometimes I like that look, and to give it just that kind of continual look of the imagery just going around. Originally, I only stamped this 3 times. I'm going to stamp it 4 this time. Sort of around where I'm going to have some of my embellishments and things. Let's see. Probably around here. See, I'm scratching at the door now. She thinks somebody's here. The wind is kind of blowing the doors a little bit, so she thinks she hears someone coming in. She's not hearing anything. She's crazy. She's a good dog. All right, and then I'm going to do one more right about here. I know, it looks kind of strange right now, but trust me, it will all come together beautifully. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside so that it doesn't get anywhere on anything. I'll wash it when I'm done with the show. So you can see so far where I've stamped my doily, and it kind of matches some of the white script that's coming through on the paper in the background, so that's what inspired me to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and start placing some of my pieces on here. Now in the original layout, I took the captured drama paper, which has the pencil grid on it and the scripty background, and I just added like a 1" by 12" strip up here to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And this gesso dries really fast, so I'm not concerned about drying it. Because I didn't, like I said, I used a thin layer, so I didn't need to do that. There we go. Oops. Got a little spooge of glue up here. You guys can't see it, but I can. It's okay. It's alright. It's totally fine. Now before I go any further, I'm going to remove my craft mat to show off my crazy, ugly craft mat, which I need to get a new Prima one. The big ones are back in stock now. They have them at bluemoonscrapbooking.com. The really large angle bone mats, you know, they're black on one side and teal on the other. Beautiful mats, so I definitely need to splurge on myself a little bit and get one. I think I've had this other one for about, I don't know, 12 years or so. I think it's time for a new one. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking this file. Uh-oh, I've ripped my paper. Oh gosh, don't tell anybody. Okay, so if that happens, just move your paper back, let your glue dry, and then distress. I don't have time to wait though. We gotta move on. So I'm just using that really nice file on one side of my distressor just to really get onto the surface. You know, you can always use the blade for the outer surface, for the paper edge, but I like to see some of that distressing on the surface of my layout, and you can do that with this file. That's what's really nice. And then you have a little fine file, so if you get any little paper thingies that come off, just use the fine one just to get off all those little pieces hanging off the sides. Hope that makes sense. Alright, so now obviously this little border here is not 12 inches long. It's actually like 11 or so. So what I did is I cleverly disguised it behind my flowers. So I'm just going to cut a little piece here and put the other piece there, and there's going to be a little gap. No worries, this is where my flowers are going to go. Haha, that's how I took care of that. Flowers cover everything. They do. Sharon hasn't sent me any texts. You guys have any questions, or am I going too fast, or do you need to know anything? I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. I hope everyone was spoiled rotten, or you got to rest, or most importantly, do whatever you felt like doing, hopefully. I know mine was nice. I just took a nap. Now, I went to brunch and then I took a nap, and that was perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so you can see what I did here. So I just have that 1-inch, hi Sharon, I have a 1-inch by 12-inch strip going across the top, and then that little cute little scalloped canvas border also. All right, so now I'm going to start with the paper piecing down here in the main part of my layout. And I'm going to grab the red romance paper, and I want a big rectangular red piece. So I'm going to cut that up now. And I'm going to go, oh geez, my dog is snoring. Sorry. I'm going to go 7.5 inches. Actually, no, I want it to go this way. Hold on a second. Bear with me for just a second. Let me get this off. Okay. I would like 7.5 inches, like this. And I'm cutting it over to this side because I don't really want the pattern in there. So cutting 7.5 inches off by 5.25 or so. 5.25 inches. Okay. So that's going to be my main rectangle, my main centerpiece. This is where everything is going to go around. And again, I'm going to just distress the edges a little bit and keep that look going. Now, you could also, like, instead of distressing the edges of your paper, you could certainly add, like, some black ink. That would look really pretty. Or you could do both. For me, I just wanted some of the white core of the paper to stand out. And I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape here. I really need to get some bigger pieces of foam tape because then I wouldn't need to use as many. That's okay. This is all I have right now. Sometimes you just got to work with what you get. But this will be my starter piece. And notice that I'm putting all of my little, I don't know if you can see, I'm putting everything toward the center. I like to do that so that I can work with things as I go and tuck things in and layer, because I think layering is so important. And I think when you have a lot of dimensional embellishments on your pages, you should try to pop it up if possible, because you don't want your photo to look flat on your layout. You know, it's going to look weird if this is totally flat and you have a lot of dimension going on around it. So you kind of want to build this up a little bit. And once the glue dries, like I always put extra glue just to make sure it stays. But once the glue dries, you can go back and just kind of fold up the edges and make it pop even more. Just kind of play around with it a little bit. Now, another thing I did, I took the captured drama paper, which was, again, the paper with the grids. Let's see if I can find it again. This one here. And what I did is I cut it at 6 inches, right down the middle. And then I cut myself 3 4x6 pieces from that one side. So boom, boom, boom. So I've already cut those, and I put some foam tape on here. And what I did is I layered all of these, but I kind of layered them in a way where they're not perfect. They're kind of going all over the place. Sort of. And I probably should have distressed the edges before I took all the backings off. That's okay. Good enough. Again, adding a little more glue. So this is another thing I like to do, and this is a great idea for scraps of paper. If you just sort of want to use up something in your stash and it's being used for, you know, again, framing in your photo, this is another great idea. And I'm actually getting a lot out of this one piece of paper. Let's see. So another thing we've got going on, did you guys see that we finally announced Art Venture Atlanta? It's That's right, Atlanta, Georgia, October 2014. What were the measurements again? Okay, so the measurements for this red piece of paper was 7.5 inches by 5 1/4. So 7.5 across, 5 1/4 this way. And then I cut 3 4x6 pieces. 3 4x6 pieces. I'm not going to say naked. Don't even try to make me say naked. Oh, I forgot. Oh, no, that's all right. I'm on the right track. You guys quit distracting me. Delana and Sharon are sending me texts trying to make me say things. I know, very, very immature. So yes, 7.5 by 5 1/4, very close. And then the 3 pieces are 4x6. Remember, I used a half a piece of the 12-inch paper. So, okay. So this last piece here, which I again forgot to distress, I'll just do it really quick. Oh geez. See, sometimes I get going on the shows and I just want to keep going. Jeez. What is wrong with me? And I'm sorry I've been on so much lately. I hope you guys aren't too sick of me. And so see how I'm just kind of layering all 3 together just to build up that background. So it's all about the layering. I'm doing this upside down, so I can't tell if it's straight, but close enough. So I've got one down here, I've got one up here, and then I got one kind of right in the center. And to this, actually, I might even scooch them over just a little bit, because over here on my original layout, I have some black seam binding. Now, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about by putting your foam tape in toward the center of the paper. Now I'm able to just slide that ribbon underneath and wrap it around all of the papers that I've layered together and tie my bow. So you can use a thicker black ribbon on this. I just think that the black seam binding is so pretty and kind of, I don't know, vintagey and easy to work with, and it just kind of drapes around with your flowers. I personally love the Hug Snug brand, this one here, and you can find it on Amazon.com, and you get 100 yards in one roll. I mean, you can't beat that, and I think it's like, I don't know, $7.99 US for 100 yards. That's so perfect. And it comes in all colors, so you guys could go crazy and get cream or white and just color it yourselves for custom ribbon, right? So here I just tied a double bow. I just tied a bow and then just tied another bow. Hope that makes sense. Because it's such a thin ribbon that tying it a couple times kind of makes it pop out a little bit. You can fluff it up and you can wrinkle it up. You can do whatever you want, and there it is. So there's the start of our background. We've got the black up here, we've got some black here, and we're going to bring in more of the black with the mini, well, with this flower and some of our mini roses too. We have those little guys there. Okay, so another perfect example of why I put all of my foam tape in the center, because as I was making this layout, I decided that I wanted to incorporate some of the chipboard pieces in amongst the paper layers. So here's a little chipboard clipboard, and maybe I just want to kind of tuck him in right there and just have it tuck, you know, sticking up from the layers of papers. Oh my goodness, I'm getting all kinds of texts from people bugging me. You guys are funny. Now I don't need to put foam tape on this because it'll already pop up just from the paper layers, like the paper layers are already popped up. So this will kind of pop this up too. So here we go. We have a little clipboard sticking out right here, or wherever you like. You can certainly put them, you know, I'm not going to tell you where to put stuff. And let's see, I have a couple more little labels up here that I'll also add. I have this guy right here, and it's got kind of room to like stamp a date or put a little word, and it's got little scrollies around it. I also have this one here. It's just like cute. So I'm going to layer those two up here at the top, and then also a clock. There's a little clock in here. So the three of those will go up here amongst the layers. So I see how I like to kind of have them in there, but still sticking out just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down. Now, I know I said there's adhesive on the back, and there really is, but like I said, sometimes I just add a little extra glue because I'm crazy. Try to have the clock going the right way. All right. So it's just fun. I don't know. I love chipboard pieces. I think they're just so cute, and they add a little bit. And you can also take your distresser tool to these as well and distress up the edges if you really wanted to go all out for that overall distressed look. Snooky. Why are you calling me Snooky? That's terrible. Oh, it's because I'm tan, isn't it? You're terrible. You're just You're jelly. Sharon just called me Snooky. That is awful. I am not anything like her. Okay. So I've got it coming out from here. So here's what it looks like so far. They're being so mean to me on here. All right. So again, you see they're just kind of popping up on their own. Yes. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do my splatteries. So I'm gonna do that now before. Okay, so here's a great example of if you're moving too fast on Live with Prima and you forgot to do a step. Just take like a piece of packaging or a couple pieces of packaging, cover up like the stuff you have going on. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to that gesso. And get that black gesso going. All right, so I'm just going to flick. I know this is going to go everywhere. Remember last time? Oh my gosh, I literally got it everywhere. And I went to the grocery store later with like black gesso all over my hands, and they were looking at me weird. But, you know, they just don't get it. They're never going to get it. All right. See, perfect. I just needed a little bit. I just, you know, it's not a lot. Please. Just a little something. I'll add a little here, a little here. Okay, good enough. So, just splatter. And I may have to dry that so that I don't get that all over everything. I do. I layer everything. And like I said, you know, if you're going to use a lot of dimension on your embellishments, you don't want your photo to kind of fall short and get lost in all of the dimension going on. That's not, your photo is supposed to be your focal point. And if it's not your focal point, at least it's the inspiration behind your project. So I feel like it's important. It's something definitely you want to feature. You know, that's just my opinion. Some people, you know, do it their own way and do it differently, but that's just how I do it. Because I just, you know, I take my most special photos in my stash, and that's what I scrapbook. The rest can just go into like a Project Life album or an Insta scrap album, or a mini book. But mainly my favorite photos go on layouts for my scrapbook albums. A lot of people are like, they're like, where do I start? How do I do that? Don't do that to yourself. Just pick out your favorites and scrapbook those. It doesn't even have to be like a spectacular photo. It could just be something that you just love for whatever reason, you know. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that Valentina flower right there in my corner. And I know this is the fun part, and I'm going to start just grabbing my flowers and going crazy. I've got the Valentina, I have the Eminence flowers, which again I said are really sturdy, and this creamy color, this creamy tone, brings out the creaminess in the paper. Oh, see, that one wasn't dry. I just smeared it. Ugh, I hate when I do that. So one thing about my layouts for sure is that whoever gets them is going to have all of my fingerprints all of my smears and smudges as I was having fun. That's what they're just going to have to live with. They're not going to be perfect by any means. No, definitely not. I'm going to add a couple of these here and here. Pop those up a little bit. And another one up here. There we go. That's what you tell people too. It's the truth. It's really the truth. Don't panic. Just have fun, right? You just got to calm them down. You know, it's like me walking into a hardware store. I look around and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. You know, I can imagine that people walk into scrapbook stores or the scrapbook sections, you know, and just say, and get overwhelmed. I can totally see that happening because I know that would happen to me. Alright, so I've got those cream colored flowers kind of scattered about, and I've got them exactly in the areas in which I want them. And now I can start building with the leaves and the smaller flowers and the metals and all that, and start bringing in the different textures, the different layers to really kind of make it pop. Oh, whoa! I just popped out this butterfly. He's going to eventually go up here. And since I added the cream colored flower down here, I can go ahead and add that title because I know now where I want to place it. And it says lovely, hence the name of the layout. But you know, there's also notes for you, special moments. There's all kinds of other titles you could choose if you didn't want to use the word lovely. That's what I love about our chipboard sets. I love that they give you a variety of things to choose from. So there we go. My ribbon's kind of crooked. Huh. How did I do that? How did I manage that? That's not right. See? Just like that on the bottom. Hopefully not as crooked as it looks on screen. You're going to identify crimes with your fingerprints on your layouts? That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. I love it. I'm also going to grab a little pair of pencils. How cute are these pencils? I can't believe it. They're so stinking cute. I love these. Yeah, I normally really like Prima chipboard, but this, for some reason, this chipboard set I had a lot of fun with. I can't get this off. Okay. So I'm going to just have my pencils kind of coming up here right up the ribbon. See how it's coming together? Yes. Yes, it's coming together. I'm sorry, my space is so awful and messy. Alright. Let's get those metal flowers out. So with the metal flowers, I used a couple different things. I used these little Sherwood roses, like I was saying, and I got some. I'm going to use just the black ones and one gray one of the darker gray ones on this layout. See, I still have plenty left over for another project. Alright, and then I'm also going to open up the bling because I want to cut off those little black flowers on there and stick them in the center of the metal flowers as well. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I used 5. Yes. Yes, I did. And some are bronze, some are silver, some are kind of like a platinum color. So just use a mixture. Doesn't matter if they all match or they don't match, right? It works. Somehow it works. I don't know how, but it did. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these. I am taking off the green parts. Yes, I am totally doing that, because I have to agree that the green on the back of these flowers do not match the green I use to color my canvas with. Alright, so I guess I use this. No, I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. Just glue him on there. Okay. And I'm just cutting right into the backing of the packaging, because they are all connected to the swirls, so I'm cutting those off. So this was a class that I taught in Brazil when I went to visit, and they really enjoyed this. And you know, everybody's looked a little bit different at the end of the class, and they all looked amazing. And I really love, you know, going to places like that where people just love to do it, and they are not afraid, and they just go for it. Okay, so I'm putting those little black flowers, I don't know if you can see, in the center of the metal flowers. See? Just like that. And I'm going to finish gluing all these down, and then I can start adding them to my clusters. So another thing, like I said, Art Venture Atlanta has been announced. It's in October, I think 18th and 19th in 2014, so this fall. And you're going to want to go to the Facebook Prima Marketing Flowers Facebook fan page and look under events, or you can go to Reg Online / Art Venture 2014 Atlanta. So if you just Google, you know, Art Venture 2014 Atlanta, I think you'll find it. But also, if you go to our event page on Facebook, it has a link that'll lead you right to it. There's 3 awesome teachers going: Steph Miller, Ken Oliver, and our very own Sharon Lockinen. Yes, the diva herself. They're each going to be teaching 2 different classes. So you get 6 classes. You get make and take. You get goodie bags. You get your lunch and refreshments all day. I mean, you're going to get like 2/3 of your money back or more. I should say 3/4. Like whatever you pay for the event, I believe it's $5.95. You are going to get that back in Prima product and in your classes alone. And just ask anybody that's attended an Art Venture, they will tell you that we are very generous and we have a lot of fun. So if you get a chance to go, do it. Spoil yourself. All right, now I'm going to start putting those metal flowers in amongst my little clusters here. Let's see. I'll put this one over. I'm using Fabri-Tac glue, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier, but I love Fabri-Tac. Helmar 450 works just as good. So if you love Helmar, use that. All right, so now I've got my little cluster going down there. I've got my metal flower here and a metal flower right here I just kind of tucked in. And now I'm ready for some greenery in here. Like we need to get our leaves and stuff. And I'll set these aside for the rest. So let me grab these red leaves. See, I like to just mix and match so many different things in here. I hope that's okay. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to work with what's in your stash and pull out. Like I like to sit at my table and I will go through my stash and pull out all of the things that I think will work on a particular project. Pull out the colors, pull out the flowers, pull out the styles, and play and see what works, because you'd be really surprised. Half the time I do not end up using what I think I'm originally going to use in my projects. And it's part of the fun, I think. Oh, let's see, we'll put that right here. So I'm just putting these red leaves in first, and then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll put in the Resist Canvas green leaves with the red ones. So actually, I think for that bottom one I'll use another one of these to kind of match. And I'll cut that leaf off. If it's a little too big, just give it a little haircut, because sometimes these leaves are kind of big and you don't need that much showing. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Alright, now I'm going to go back to my canvas pieces and I'm going to cut these apart just into like little sections. Like that one's kind of an odd looking one, but it's alright. I can cut off that half a leaf. I don't even know how it gets there. But I can just start adding these little green bits here and there. I think there's even some canvas. Yeah, there's a canvas piece that pops out from there. Okay, So maybe like right in there. I think that would look cute. I love how there's shininess on it from the Color Bloom spray. Oh my gosh. Have you guys gotten your Color Bloom sprays yet? They're pretty amazing. I know a lot of people are like, well, I already have some sprays in my stash and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you guys though, you gotta just get a couple colors to start and just try it out. It's gonna be like nothing you've ever used, I swear. And if not, just come back and tell me. I can handle it. I'm willing to risk my reputation on it. I'm going to cut that little stem off. Because these are really lustrous. Is that a word? Lustrous. And pretty. Now see how the green just kind of pulls it all together. Brings it out. Alright, I'll hold that up so you can see. See how I've just that little bit of green with the red just really made it pop. Okay. And it really filled it in and actually enhanced even the image that's in the corner of the paper too, which I really love. I try to get the most use out of, you know, the designs on the papers as well. Alright, I'm going to go up here and start plugging away up here. Let's see. I'm going to get my leaves in. Oops, sometimes they stick together. Sometimes they do. This one up here, I think I can just cutting off all those little extra stems hanging off because I don't need those. I don't really need them. Alright. Yeah. See, like there's like this little piece here in between those leaves, and I think it's there just to keep it steady when it's like colored. And then after it's dry, you can just cut it off and you don't need to worry about it. Okay. Oh my goodness. No. Put this down here. I know. Do you guys ever do that? Change your mind halfway through? I'm sure you don't ever, right? I seem to do that a lot on these shows. I don't know why. I just do. And I'm just going to have some greenery coming up here. And I'm going to add another one of those. I'm going to add my little metal flower here too. I think that'll look stinking cute. Yeah. That little leaf. That's what I love about wet glue too, is I can just kind of move it around as I'm playing around with it, and it's no big deal. Alright, maybe another little guy here, kind of coming out. Maybe I need to scooch this over. I do. How am I doing on time, Cher? Oh, I got 10 minutes. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. I'm just going to re-glue that because I've moved it around a couple times. Okay, so I'm just going to hold that up a little bit so you can see how I've just tucked in a couple of the red leaves. I've got the greenery up here. So far, so good. Alright, and then up here, up at the top, again, add another metal flower with, see, I'm going to cover that little gap too that's right in there, driving me nuts. And I have another little sprig left that I can kind of have coming out from behind the flower. A little more greenery. I'm using Stationer's Desk, yes. Stationer's Desk. It's one of my favorite collections we came out with, and it's very, very vintagey and pretty, and yeah, I love it. Okay, maybe another, I'll stick the red leaf underneath the green here. Ooh, it might be a little bit too big. I'll just give it a little haircut. Like I said, some of these leaves are a little bit large. Okay, just like that. Another guy. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of tucking and moving. I'm going to add another little metal flower up here. I know it's hard to see. I promise I will show you guys in just a second. I know. Sometimes it's, see that? See, so I've just added the green canvas, a couple of the leaves, and then the metal flowers up here. And look, that little gap between the scallop pieces totally disappeared. Perfect. And I also want, oh crud, I should not have popped out that butterfly. I'm telling you right now, I shouldn't have, because now I have no idea where it is. No clue. So hopefully we'll come across it as we go. I don't know. I can always stick in, yeah, I could put in a little dragonfly. Oh, there we go. So I have a little dragonfly. He's so cute. And I can have him like kind of coming out of the flowers up here too. That would be super cute. I'm going to do that. Okay. Just have it. Look how well this has come together. Pretty easy. And then the last and final touch will be my bling. So we're going to get out our little swirls. And like I said, I'm just going to cut these apart. And I'm just going to add them throughout the layout. And just tuck them in amongst my flower clusters. And that should, then we should be good. I don't know where, oh. Where are my scissors? Right in front of me, of course. Okay. So I've got this little, I'm going to have this guy coming out up here. What I love about these is that this really, these kind of things help draw your eye up kind of away from the clusters. So if you have a lot going on in your clusters, like this is just a really nice continuation of it. Okay, come on. All right, sorry, my screen went black. I am located in Syracuse, New York. So I'm in central New York, near Syracuse. I work from home for Prima. I'm one of the lucky few that get to say that. And I do travel and teach all over the world. So, you know, hopefully someday I can meet all of you in person when I'm in your neck of the woods. Okay. Now I'm just cutting off some little leaves, like the bling leaves. And I don't mind. I have no problem like layering them on top of some of the other embellishments too, because it just adds another layer, another little bit of interest. And you can use it to just kind of fill in the gaps too. Like up in here, if I wanted to just add a little bit here. Oh my gosh, just glue it all over this. Oh geez. Okay, I'm cutting off another little piece. See how far this goes? Like how many little pieces you can get out of one? And because sometimes you look at those on the shelf and you're like, oh, what am I going to do with one giant bling swirl? Well, cut it apart. Use it in various ways in different pieces and kind of add it. 4-minute warning, and now she's calling me Barbie. I love it. Barbie. Well, we're just putting our finishing touch on here, and then we are done. Now this piece is a little, this piece is a little bit long for this little cluster of flowers, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of chop it a little bit shorter than how it came. And I might even lift up that little dragonfly and stick the bling underneath. There we go. There we go. So, what do you think? See? Oh, it's a little crooked. Hold on. Sometimes you have a little bit of time, too, to go back and adjust. Oh, that's what I love about this stuff. Let's see, how does that look? Okay, because I'm going by what's on screen, not scrapbooking upside down-ish. So, and that's it. There's the layout. Piece by piece, flower by flower, chipboard pieces. You got metal. You've got some pearl swirls, you know, all kinds of stuff going on canvas, and it really adds a lot of texture, dimension, and fun to your projects. And it was really fairly easy to do. Yes! Awesome. You guys happy with that? Sharing you a little bit of lovely. I think that's still crooked. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it for now. And here's the original. Pretty darn close. Lots of fun. Yes, I did start on their design team, and I eventually got a job. I can't believe they hired me. What they did. Much against Sharon's advice. No, just kidding, Sharon. Sharon didn't say anything. So that's it for today, people. Oh yes, please watch the replay if you missed it. Oliver, I definitely recorded the show, so we are, you know, you are good to go. And I also posted on our YouTube channel as well. There's Prima. It's called, just look up on YouTube Prima Marketing, and you will find our Prima channel. You'll see like our purple logo with the rose. And all of our Ustream classes, all the Live with Prima classes are uploaded to YouTube. So if you don't like to watch the recorded versions on Ustream, you can watch it on YouTube as well, whichever you prefer. So that's that. I just want to thank everyone for coming today. It was awesome. You guys are so sweet, and I can't tell you, oh gosh, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys coming to the shows, supporting us, and I hope that you learn something new each time. Next month is going to be fabulous. We have a lot of guest designers coming on. I have someone from Sweden. I have Trina this Thursday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time joining us. She's from New Zealand, and she'll be on again in June, and she is one of our fabulous California Art Venture teachers. Here, Sam. Sam, say hi. Hey, look over here. Sammy. So we have that, and I mean, we just have so much going on with Prima. We have our California Art Venture coming in January 2015, so that's really fun. What else do we have, Sam? What else do we have? No, don't eat the flowers. She loves to eat Prima flowers. They are her favorite snack. They are her favorite snack. All right. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Make sure you tell your friends about our shows. We'd love to have more people come on the chat. You guys are awesome. I'll see you all Thursday night with Trina. She's making a fabulous altered frame, which I know you guys are going to love. She has a lot of great ideas. She's a sweetheart. So, you know, join us for that. And like I said, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. So I will talk to you guys all soon. See ya.